What's going on, guys? We got a fun one today. I actually made a PowerPoint, so there won't be too many tangents, and we're actually gonna get some real data. You're actually gonna get some scientific facts in this video with some slight tangents. So still be some slight tangents, but a lot of data, like actual. You might actually learn something from this video. Um, so before we begin this amazing PowerPoint, I just want to say too, if you're a Yu-Gi-Oh fan, this isn't like a oh, Yu-Gi-Oh sucks. If you like Yu-Gi-Oh, haha, you're an idiot. I'm a very free market, pro capitalist kind of guy. To give you like an idea, I like that Pow World is so amazing, and that it's basically forcing Pokemon, well, like in my personal opinion, Pokemon is now forced to make a better game. Like after this whole AZ whatever situation, and with Pow World being so amazing, the market is turning right. So it's gonna now force Pokemon, if they want to compete in the market, like their next game's got to be a banger, right? Um, so what's my point with that tangent, right? Well, my point is with One Piece, even with One Piece being a better game, it forces Yu-Gi-Oh, if they really care, to become a better game and adapt. If they're like two competing things, right? So like by One Piece being better, it forces Yu-Gi-Oh to be better if they care at all, right? So that's I probably already lost half of you, but anyway, on with the video. So first point I want to make. Obviously, we're all quite well aware that the One Piece anime. I was surprised in like '04 the One Piece anime overtook Yu-Gi-Oh, and then it just took off. If someone can tell me what happened, I could probably Google it because I did the other stuff, but obviously something happened. Like there was I'm gonna guess, was this One Piece Red, or no, that was probably later, because the TCG came out in like 2022. Came out like sometime like right. I think like the TCG is like right here or something, because it came out at the same time around Red, I think. But this is just, again, this is our first piece of data to show you that the IP itself, the IP of One Piece, is larger, and I think we kind of all knew that at this point, right? My point being, it's the gap is getting significantly bigger. So that's my first point of data. So, hey, and if you know anything about me, if you watch any of my videos, I think strong IP is like the key to a great TCG, and that's why Magic is going the way they're going. Now, okay, I'm gonna admit these next two slides, you could say they're more opinion based than fact based, but I would say they're facts based off what I'm seeing. So, the first one, card show growth. I don't go to a ton of card shows, but I do go. The big thing for me is I travel, all right? So, like, I hit the East Coast, I hit the West Coast, Texas, Kansas City. I'm everywhere, right? One Piece, without a doubt, from what I can see, is it's definitely, basically, you got Pokemon, obviously, right? And I may even go as far to say, now I'm not going to count sports, because I'd go as far as saying like sports is maybe second. Like it goes like Pokemon, sports, and then I got to be completely honest with you guys. I may have seen more One Piece cards than Magic cards. Maybe not. Like it was definitely like, it may be on the same level. Like I may have seen the same amount of One Piece cards, like vendors and stuff, as I saw Magic. And I basically saw like no Yu-Gi-Oh. I already made a video about this. I saw zero Flesh and Blood. Zero. Unless you actually go to like a Flesh and Blood, and then, or maybe like if you're on like the West Coast, if you're on the coasts, you're not gonna see any Flesh and Blood in the Midwest. But I'm just telling you. Again, this is just from a guy, from what I see, going talking to vendors, using my eyeballs, just looking around. It's what I'm seeing. Third thing I'm seeing, again, don't travel as much, but when I was traveling quite a bit, I would just go into LGS, right? I gotta see what's going on, what's being played, what's being sold. One Piece at the time was the number one growing, without a doubt, the number one growing game being played. This was about like a year ago when I did a lot of this. Now, from everything I can still understand though, and what I can see, again, there's no competing with Pokemon and Magic. Now, I will say though, actually, I think One Piece might be like, for people like me who like don't like Commander, and we like more like the 60 card. You can have like more than, we don't like singleton formats. I think there may be a lot of people leaving Magic, like players, not collectors, players, to go play games like One Piece, Sorcery, and I'll make that's for a whole nother video. But I think I'm just gonna Wizards. I'm just gonna say I'm gonna make a whole video about how like if Wizards could go back to like the 90s, they just need to come. Wizards needs to come out and be like, we're doing $1 million tournament. First place, $1 million. They have you guys have the money. I'm telling you right now, if Wizards was like, you have 1 year to prepare, and we are doing a $1 million first place tournament standard MTG, bro, it'd be, and we're putting it on ESPN. Boom! I just saved Magic the Gathering. Thank you. You're welcome. Anyway, that's tangents, right? That's what I do. Even with the PowerPoint, I'm going on my tangents. Okay, if you made it past that was the test. Because if you made it past that little tangent, I'm gonna hit you with the real data. This is what you really wanted to see in this video. Okay. Now, this is the actual One Piece TCG versus the Yu-Gi-Oh TCG. Not the anime, but the TCG. And you can see almost immediately it basically took off and it's not coming back. And if you see Yu-Gi-Oh, it's just it's just dipping. It has like these little bumps and then it just, so, and then this is to give you guys a perspective of the power of Pokemon. All right. So here, this is 2022, right? This is where One Piece. Sorry, right here. This is where One Piece. It's not. It kind of is skewed because of this. And this is also, again, I'm going on a little tangent here because if you made it past that little bit and you're gonna get this data, you're gonna get a little tangent. That's why I'm tired of people being like, oh, Pokemon, it's been about, bro, you got, look how like somewhat close it kind of sort of not really was. And then look what happened. November 10th. I had to look up. I was like, what? It was Surging Sparks, guys. Literally no one cared about, like, everyone thought Scarlet and Violet was the trashiest set until, I don't know, maybe I'll go on a whole tangent about this because it has nothing to do with One Piece. But for anyone who says, oh, Pokemon's been so bad forever, no, literally no one cared. I remember this is when I was buying all my Pokemon because no one cared. Now everyone cares. So, what's the point of this video? I'll tell you this. I have watched in the last, what is today, the 24th. I have watched in the last 24 days probably a couple $100,000 being pumped into just One Piece singles, probably 10. I'm talking $100,000 into maybe 10 cards, okay? This game has the potential to see what peak Yu-Gi-Oh was, if not bigger. Here's my question: is One Piece already bigger than Yu-Gi-Oh? Ever was? Like, is One Piece already? No, I don't think One Piece is bigger than Yu-Gi, because like Yu-Gi-Oh hype, like peak Yu-Gi-Oh, I don't think one. Maybe I don't know. You guys tell me. You guys tell me. That's really all I have. I just wanted to show you guys some data points, some stuff I found interesting. What? How do you guys interpret this data? And what do you think of the video? A little bit more factual. Hmm? Still some tangents, but we got data. We got graphs. Have a good one, guys.